Hi everybody. This is a new module that we're going to do. We're going to start. It's going to be module 5. We're going to be learning about volume. This is our first lesson. Let's look at our target. So our target is explore volume by building and counting with unit cubes. So today all we're going to be doing is counting our cubes. Make sure you have a pencil and a notebook. Give you a couple of seconds to get that ready. Okay, here we go. Every day before you start our lesson, I'm going to be mentioning fluency quite often because it's really good. It's really important to keep that going. So for today, let's begin by saying our multiples of 6 together. Okay, ready? Say them with me. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72. Sometimes it's boring just saying them, so maybe you could do jumping jacks. You can go outside and use chalk and write them on the ground, something to make it fun. All right, so our lesson for today, let's start out by reviewing a little bit about area. Okay, so let's look at area for a minute and review what we know. We definitely know that when we label area, I have a little note here up top, that area equals centimeters squared if we're using units. If we use inches, it'll be inches squared. If we're not naming a unit at all, it will be called unit squared. Okay, and that's important because length times width equals area. And for volume, you're going to be learning eventually this week will be length times width times height. So if they give you the area, all you have to do is multiply the height. So, but we'll get into that a little later. So let's review a little bit of this. I'm going to show you some shapes right now. Here's one shape. We know this is a square, so we know that all the sides are equal. And I have 2. And if we do area and we say length times width, we know that 2 times 2 equals 4. So this one would be 2 times 2 equals 4. And it's not named. So we're going to say units, and I'm going to put a little 2 there, and that means squared. So my next one, length times width, would be 2 times 3 equals 6 units squared. And my last one would be, and I'm sure you guys know this, length times width, 3 times 4, which would give us 12 units squared. So that's just a little review for area, okay? So now, today we'll be talking about volume, the amount of space. That's a 3D shape, okay? Area, okay, is the amount of space that a 2D shape takes up, okay? Here's, in my hand, a cube. This is 3D, okay, because you have a length, a width, and a height, the depth, or how deep it is, okay? So you have a length, a width, and a height, and that will be for volume. All right, let's move on. So let's look at these 2 pictures that I have here. Okay, so one looks like, this one here looks like it's drawn flat on the paper. That would be 2D, and you could say this would be your length, and this would be your width. Okay, this one now looks like this. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, looks like that. And you could actually hold those in your hands, okay? And they're considering this to be 1, 2. So this could be, when you can hold a cube or an object, you can count the number of cubes. That's what we'll be doing today, okay? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 cubic units, okay, because you can count them. All right, so here we go. Let's see. So today we're going to only count cubes, okay? So here I have another picture. This is kind of hard to see because it's kind of dark, but I have 3 pictures here. Let's see if they all have the same volume. Let's count the cubes. When I point, you count out loud with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. The one that this one is sitting on top of. So this one I'm going to say is 4 units cubed. I'm going to put a 3 above there. Okay, when we talk about volume, we talk about cubes. Okay, that's why we have a 3 that represents the cube. All right, then I have my next one. 1, 2, 3, and the one on top makes 4. So that again is 4 unit cubes. And my last one. This is one that you saw me do already with my cubes when I was going like this. Okay, so now you can count the cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 again, 4 unit cubes. Here's my question to you though. My question is, can I have different shapes and still have the same volume? Absolutely. We just did it. Okay. They're all 4 unit cubes, but they're all different shapes. Okay? So remember the trick about this is you got to count those hidden cubes, because look at this one. This one is sitting on top of that bottom one. You got to remember to count that one because sometimes you can't see it, but we do know that this is sitting higher than this one, so you know this has to be sitting on something. Same for the next one. 1, 2. We're going to count the one that's sitting on the bottom there. That's 3. And this one's sitting on top of that. So that's 4. Okay, and this one is just at 4 right out in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yes, you can have different figures that have the same units. All right, I'm going to take those off of there. All right, so let's look at this next picture. I'm going to cover this up here. All right, so here we go. Jackie and Ron both have 12 centimeter cubes. Jackie builds a tower 6 cubes high. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. Jackie builds a tower 6 cubes high and 2 cubes wide. Ron builds 6 cubes long and 2 cubes wide. All right, I'm going to make them with my blue blocks, my blue cubes, so you guys can really get an idea of what this looks like. Okay, so this is Jackie's. Jackie does this. Hope I could do this without them falling, you guys. Let's see if I could do it. Bear with me here. I hope my tower doesn't fall over. I hope you are counting with me, and now you know exactly how many Jackie has in her tower. And I also have it right here that it is 12 cubes. Okay, now here's Ron's. Ron does it a little different. Ron goes like this. He didn't want to make the tower. 2 rows of 6 he wants to do. here we go. Now, they look different, okay? Now, Ron says he has the same amount as Jackie, and Jackie keeps saying that she has an amount that is more because hers is taller. What do you think is right? Remember, the picture that you see, this is going to have the same volume, but they're going to look different. So, what do you think? So, I think, and we know, I think you know too, that Jackie has 12 and Ron has 12. So they both have the same. So Ron is correct in saying that just because the picture looks different doesn't mean that their cubic centimeters or their units are different. They can be the same if the picture looks different. All right, so let's go on. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to do the first couple with you, and then you guys will do the rest. So here we go. Remember, we're just counting today. So the first one, really simple. 1 unit cubed. 1 unit cubed. Pay attention to how we are labeling. It's very important that we're talking about volume, that you are labeling with your unit and with a 3 saying that that's cubed. Or you could say cubic units. Totally up to you. This can also look like this. Could look like that. The next one, B. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to say this is 5 cubic units, or 5 units cubed. Okay? Okay, so C, I'm going to let you do this one. I will point, you will count, and I'll give you a minute, and then I'll tell you the answer. Ready? Go. Write your answer. You should have gotten 9 cubic units. Okay, now, don't forget, this is a little trickier because these ones have more, and they're stacking on top of each other, which means, and I wrote you a little hint here, don't forget, there's hidden cubes that need to be counted. Count the top level and count the bottom level. Here we go. Let's do the bottom first. I'll do D with you, and then you could do E and F. Here we go. So the bottom, I see 1, 2, 3, and I see that there's 2 layers. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But there isn't one underneath this one, right? So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's try that again. Okay, so I've got how many on the top? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on the top. And they're sitting on top of one, so that means one has to be underneath it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, for another for the bottom. And they also put 1 in the middle. So I would say that's 9 cubic units. Okay. How about E? Again, count your top and then count your bottom, whichever way you want to do it, but make sure that if it's sitting on top of something, that you have to count the one that's underneath, even if you don't see it, because the one on the top is sitting on this one. And then there's 2 rows. Okay, so this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd say 6 on the bottom. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the top. And I'd say that would be 12 cubic units. And F. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hope you're doing this with me. Okay, so see here on the side, they're showing you like a little side, and that will come in handy when we do the formula for volume, but today we're only counting our cubes. So it's showing you that we have a level on the bottom. We have 1 and 2 rows. So I'm going to show you those with my blocks so you kind of get a better idea. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now they go like this. They have it like on a slant so you could see. Okay, so you could see like on the side here that there are 2 rows. So I've got 5 and 2 rows. So I know I already have 10 on the bottom. And then what they do is go ahead and put more on the top. This is like their second layer. Trying to move my paper here a little bit. There we go. All right. So when I put my top layer on, it's kind of hiding that back row. That's why they're showing you a little side view to show you that there's 2 rows on the bottom. Okay? They're showing you like that on the side view, so you could see that there's 2 rows. See that? Okay, so then you know to count that back row as well. All right, so let's look at this one now. This one says, Joyce says that the figure below made 1 centimeter cubes has a volume of 5 cubic centimeters. Let's see if she's right. All right, so let's look at this. Does she have 5 cubic centimeters? Let's count. Ready, go. You count. I'm going to give you a minute to come up with your answer. And then I'm going to tell you if you're right or not. Ready? Go ahead and count your cubes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, the one that's underneath that, 4, 5, and the one on top would make 6. I think Joyce forgot to count the one that was underneath the one that this box is sitting on. So Joyce was not correct. So they're asking you to explain her mistake. So we would say, Joyce is not correct because she did not count the cube under the cube on top. Okay. So imagine if Joyce adds to the second layer so the cubes completely cover the first layer in the figure above. Okay. What would the volume be of the new structure? So here's the original structure. They want you to put 1 on top of every single one that you have. Go ahead and count the bottom. Pretend that there is a box on top of each one. And write down on your paper what you think the volume will be. give you a couple seconds to figure that out. Okay, now I'm going to build it, and you can count with me. Ready? Here we go. The bottom should look like this. 2 on this side, 3 on the bottom, and 1 on the top. And what they asked us to do was, they want all the boxes on the bottom, to be covered. So here we go. All right. So let's count these now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 5 on the bottom. So I should have 10 cubic units. I hope that's what you got. 10 cubic units. Okay, so remember, let's go back to our target. So our target is, we were exploring volume today. We were building with some of my cubes and counting each unit. So that's our lesson for today. Make sure you go and complete the unit or complete the lesson practice or your homework that I have given you for the day. Thanks, and see you tomorrow. Bye.